Hi, my name's Riley, and this is my heroic imagination presentation. For my heroes, I would have to say is Malala, just because of how she was in a bad situation. She got shot in the face, and she managed to live, and then she was put into this leadership role, and she started writing books, and she really took advantage of her position, and she was able, and she brought a lot of things to light in order to help others around her, and that's a lot of us can really look up towards. Not there's a lot of problems in this world that need more attention. And then from a very personal standpoint, someone who really helped me a lot in high school would probably be my chemistry teacher, Mr. Ransberger. He is also one of my heroes because he wasn't afraid to yell at me, and he wasn't afraid to kind of quite literally throw me around. There were a couple times after class where he used to wrestle back when he was in high school, and I think he did a little bit in college, and I was a wrestler in high school, so he wasn't a he'd take me in after class and he'd show me some moves and throw me around his classroom a little bit. And so yeah, I have a lot of good memories about that, and it really had a big impact. Something heroic, like a heroic act that I've done, I'd have to say is so one summer while I was working as a lifeguard, this kid did a flip off the edge of the pool, and he hit his head on the metal like railing on the pool, and he cracked his head open. He was bleeding all over the place, and so I didn't play the biggest role in this, but my role was to call the emergency, was to call the police or like the ambulance and have them come over and pick him up, take him to the hospital. And so that's what I did. And honestly, at the time, it was kind of stressful, but it really kind of showed me like these are things that happen, and these are things that we need to be prepared for, you know? And then another act of heroism that I've engaged in is for when I was in Boy Scouts. Remember, we built this fence at a church. So what we did was we cleared it was like behind their chapel. We cleared out the whole back of the chapel because it was covered in like bushes and shrubs, like just a bunch of weeds and stuff, and we cleared that and pushed it all the way back and made an entire opening. And then we built a fence for the chapel because there was also been lots of reports of a lot of shady deals going down there, so they really wanted that to stop. And so I helped them build. Someone who's going for their Eagle Scout project build the fence there. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun too. So I would do it again, so like 10 times over if I could. It was so much fun. So several things I think prevent a lot of heroism. One I would have to say is just like society, just the way that things have been going lately. There's just a lot of bad out there, and I feel like it really kind of prevents people from doing good. Another thing I'd say is a lot of like time restraints, I guess. You know, like people need to be somewhere at a certain time. They need to do this, and this. You know, they don't have time to focus on others. You know, and I guess that kind of leads into like selfishness, you know, because it's taking a lot of that time in for yourself and not being available to give it to others. A way that I would market heroism to people is, so one way is nobody remembers the guy who didn't do anything, you know, didn't do anything extra. But everybody remembers the guy who took the extra step for that one person, even if it was just a little thing. That person is going to remember him, and so are the people who else it affected. So everybody wants to be that guy, or wants to be that person who everyone remembers. So that's how I would market heroism. Be the person that everyone remembers, because you'll have lots of friends and you'll have lots of connections that way too. So I guess like a way that I can kind of connect the heroism to my major that I'm going for right now, being engineering. Engineering is all about, you know, creating things so that people, creating things for people, creating things so that people can have easier lives, creating like houses and making like water holes for third world countries and making wells and doing stuff like that. That's all engineering. I've heard of lots of people traveling across the world to help third world countries. And yeah, so that would be that's how I can relate heroism to my major. And it makes me, I also feel really like glad to actually be a part of something like this that helps so many people. So thank you for watching my heroic imagination presentation, and I hope you have a good